I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off Cyborg. I watched C-beams glittering down 10 hours a day. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers, commentators, experts, and/or hosts. They do not explicitly or necessarily reflect nor represent the channel's policy or the views held by this channel or broadcaster. The broadcaster or its channel cannot be held accountable for all or any views expressed during this program.
It's just like Killer Cop 4, but she's got Hema instead of fry cook balls. I need you, Action Bastard. Action Bastard, I need you. Action Bastard, I need you. Why am I wasting time dancing?
You want to know why? Because the world is fucking flat, dog. And everything that you see up there, as far as like planets or stars, yeah, guess what, dude? It's fucking fake. It's just lights up there. The government put those lights up there so you dummies could just act like there's something up there.
Wait a second, are you a flat earther?
Call a crackhead.
You're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're stupid. All right, folks, welcome to another strange, wild, weird, and odd interviews. Well, we have an amazing performer, extreme performer that we're going to be bringing on. I thought I was fucking insane until I met Homie and I realized all the stuff and things that they have done. And that's why we are bringing them on so that they can tell their stories of the insanity that they've lived through. You thought I was crazy. Just wait until we bring on Psikotyk. So let's say hello to our panel first, and then we will bring in our guest. And of course, everybody say hello to our co-host, which is our...
Some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Yes, I guess you're right.
Yes? Oh, shit. God damn it. Yes, I guess you're right. I know.
Already warned them. We're professionals at not being professionals, so
yeah,
no worries.
Yeah, that's my first F up of the night, which is not going to be the last, obviously.
Probably
so
not.
Here we blow. Of course not. So here we blow, and let's bring in our...
War never changes. And we are the Galactic Penguin Federation, NASA's enforcers. We rain fire on our enemies and fight hand to hand across the galaxy. We are ever seen, yet we are never seen in our fight for liberty. We will kick down any door and fight any secret societies.
I knew it. She's a lizard person.
My name, Commander 401. And this is how we handle our problems.
You gotta step up and beat that bully
with a stick.
All right, and there we go. And how are you doing, Commander?
Oh, excellent. Having a day off. I asked for the transfer, so they're working on it. But officially, everything's been set in motion, so I'm going to be in Virginia soon.
You're going to be in Virginia soon? Oh, Virginia. Sorry. Never mind. Anyways, how are you doing right quick, dog?
Doing good. Excited.
Good. Are you going to behave?
All the time, mate. I'm the consummate.
You totally behave always. Of course, dog.
Yeah,
I don't have to ask you to sit all the time. No, I'm just kidding.
Misbehaving is also a form of behaving.
Yeah, and that's why he's our dog.
It's not about me today, is it? It's about
no, of course.
Guests.
So, Psikotyk, how are you doing?
I'm surviving. That's the best I'm going to give you.
Awesome. Are you beat from doing all the shows that we've been doing lately?
Yeah. Actually, I haven't had a chance to talk to you since Colorado Tattoo. I actually got hurt pretty bad during that show and kind of just waved it off like it was no big deal.
Because you were walking around way too much. You should not have been walking around as much as you were.
No, that's part of it. But during our Pole Expo on Saturday night, while I was emceeing and running back and forth and DJing, a guy stepped on my foot. He went one way, I went the other, and I actually got a couple new light fractures in my left foot and ankle.
God damn it! I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't do that.
Well, it is what it is. I had to miss Cottonwood Fair actually because there was no way I was going to be able to walk those grounds and blow fire and do all that stuff while trying to. I mean. Even in Aircast, there's nothing they can really do.
Yeah, and that's what the girls just did, right? Is that what they did last weekend?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. And FYI, I'm a DJ too. So I mean, I can step away from my booth for a minute to run the sound. Anyways,
and
we'll
honestly,
talk about that later.
I almost called you to bail me out on that one because
I totally could have done it, bro.
We didn't realize we were moving to the center of the room. I was set up at the backstage, and then they moved us, which was better performance. It was great, but
no, it's because you actually had people watching. It was way better being there for sure. Because but anyways.
I had my sound system too, which was nice because we were blowing everybody else out of the water with mine, so I was like just a whole lot easier.
Exactly, and I have my own sound system as well. But again, we'll talk about that later. Let's crack on and let's just play this video of me doing extreme stuff right quick, and then we'll get into the Q&A with our lovely guest. And then we have the side dimension. Oh shit, we didn't say hi to the side chat yet. Shit, that's what I need to do. God damn it, I knew I was forgetting something. All right, so we have a JoJo. Everybody say hello to our JoJo.
Hey, JoJo.
Hello, JoJo.
And we have a Canadian Alderman.
Hello,
Ali.
And a stop the stupidity.
Stop.
Stupidity.
That's way too much for me to read right now.
I love that avatar.
Me too. I love that avatar as well. It's so awesome. Let's see. The common practice amongst management to buy pizza or something other than minor expenses for workers. Where I don't even know where this is coming out of. I'm not even going to go further up the stream to even check about.
Stops at that work is buying them pizza.
Oh, well, I mean, I'll buy you pizza to work on me. Never mind. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, so let's play this right quick, and then we'll get into the stuff and things of the stuffs, right? Anyways. All right, so let me reorganize this because I'm sorry, Brainless. You got to be third. And then Dog, you're always on the bottom. So
always
that's how this goes.
I have to be on the bottom because to hold you this fucking show up.
You're the held up of the fucking show. That's exactly.
No, that makes it easier to mute you. Oh,
yeah. You keep telling yourself that, Dog. You're still a noob of the stream pervs. So maybe one day you will actually become a stream perv. You are a stream perv, but maybe you will not become a trainee of them as well. So this is when I used to do fetish event stuff, and I was a young lad. This is before I had my beer belly. So I'm piercing her leg with hypodermic needle ends, hollow needles. Let's put it that way.
I don't like needles. Hello, Jasper.
Just don't piss off the
Who do
nurse
we have
when
coming
they're
in?
taking
Oh.
blood.
No, you never piss off your nurse, doctor, or the person that's putting anything up your butt. You never want to make them mad. Hey, Jasper, the same with like going to the TSA. You don't want to make them mad because they literally can make your day not fun.
Yeah, but how many times have you been traveling where you didn't get stopped by TSA? The way we all look, that's just kind of a given now.
So, so thank you for bringing up that because I think it was 8 years ago or it was something like that. I was traveling for doing a show, and so my under the carriage luggage, you know what I'm saying, like goes on the plane luggage, had all my weird saws and, you know, all the murder items. It looks like I'm a fucking serial killer, literally, when you open that up. When I was walking through, I don't remember which one it was for the first search. Like, it wasn't the body scan yet, I don't think. But it was like you walk through and it kind of waves your body, you know what I'm saying? Or like it tells you where like thingy-mabobbers are, or you know, metal. So the lady goes, can I ask you to go to secondary with me? And I was like, okay, cool. I don't care. They walk me up to a fucking booth that has a curtain. She opens up the curtain, starts putting on gloves. So I walk straight into the booth and I just start pulling my pants down. I just like literally faced away from them and pulled my pants down. And they go, whoa, 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 what's going on? And I went, wait, I thought that's where we're going next. Like, you don't need to ask me questions. Like, if you're already going to search my butt, let's fucking do it so I can get on the plane. I want to have another beer before I get on the plane. I don't care. Like, and they're like, no. Go ahead, Commander.
I have a story from JFK. So I was taking the plane to Warsaw to go see, you know, I was taking the plane from JFK to Warsaw to go to Ukraine. And it turns out, right, you don't want to eat Panda Express before you go because the orange chicken got confused with and I basically, if I wasn't able to prove that I was going to see who I was, they wanted me to stay behind and shit stuff out. So they believed me that it was orange chicken, but they thought that it was something else because they have that new scan where they can see inside you now.
Yeah. They thought it was Agent Orange inside of you. Never mind.
No, they thought it was bags or something.
No, of course, obviously.
Thank you, stupidity, for the 5 memberships.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. Thank you. Stop this stupidity for the 5 new memberships. And Brainless, will you please tell us who the 5 new members are, right quick, and then I'll get
That
into the rest of my
is,
story.
West Side Girl Reacts.
Awesome.
And our lovely Patty P.I. Mango Jones.
Yay.
And the lovely Jojo. And
Awesome.
Maya Atkinson. And
Sweet.
Charles Arnold.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and
All
we're going
names
to
I
do this.
recognize. Wow.
I'm sorry, Psychotic. This is how these streams go. We never get to the point very fast. So here's what we're going to do. We have new members, and this is the new member freaking video. So here we blow. So there is the new membership video. So welcome new members. You're very welcome there, Jojo. So let's crack on. What I want to say really quick before we start asking questions to our lovely guest. After that flight, when I opened up my luggage, it had one of those cards in it that said that we search your baggage again and stuff. Every time I now go on a plane and I get to the computer, the person has a computer in front of them and I hand them my ID and they put in it, there's obviously a note because they'll look down, read, and their eyes will get big and they'll look at me and then they'll look back down. They're like, yeah, just go. Like, I've never been secondary since. So there must be a thing that says this dude wants a finger up his butthole or something, I don't know, but it's great to watch that. And I've actually had them call other people over to read the notes. They're trying to pretend to not do it. You know what I'm saying? But they literally are like, and they it's so funny. And then that person will read it, look up at me, look back down, and it's so funny, dude. I don't know what the notes are that are in the TSA, but there's got to be
next
something.
time, just fucking ask them.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm pretty sure it is. This guy wants a finger up his butt. I'm pretty sure that's what it's gonna say because I literally, as soon as they pulled me behind that and they closed the curtain,
but when you're yeah, okay, just search me, get it over with, they already know you don't have anything on you because you wouldn't react like that.
And I did have my business cards and other things in certain pockets to where when they pulled it out, oh, the guy's a sword swallower. Oh, that's why there's a sword here. Oh, he's a sideshow artist. Oh, my card used to say performer, and it had the grinder in there with a saw, with a bag of broken glass. They obviously put in the notes, okay, this guy's obviously a performer and not a serial killer because would have been caught by the FBI by now.
I would have put something in the case anyway, that explains what you do.
No, I was not stupid enough to not do that.
Of you swallowing the sword,
Yeah, no, I put my business cards in that first pocket that is the netting pocket that you first see when you open it up. So, anyways, all right. So, Psychotic.
Look mega shady anyway.
Okay, well now, yeah. Look at me, yeah, totally. All right. So, speaking of that, Devil, what was your worst airline experience? Fuck it, let's start there. And I have so many other questions, but since we're already talking about airlines, fuck it.
Okay, two-parter because I've had a really bad flight and I've had a really bad airport experience. So
yeah,
worst flight was I did a 28-hour marathon. I was in 5 cities in under 28 hours.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I was just. I literally was in. I'd say it started in Austin. I went to Charlotte, North Carolina. I went to JFK. I went to O'Hare. I went to Dallas to DFW, then to LAX, then back to DIA.
Can I ask you a question right quick? What project were you in at the time?
That was when I was touring with Machinery Cell, which is the last real band I was in.
Yeah.
And I was the record label, Prophecy Records, was doing really well. We had offices all over, and I was filming 2 movies at the time. So
Jesus.
I was doing paperwork going back and forth, and a lot of it was like, well, we could courier you, but by the time they got a courier to me, I was going to be somewhere else anyway. So it's just easier. It honestly costs less for me to fly all over in a day in a few hours than to wait for shipping, and it was stupid. But the flight back from LA actually had a layover in Phoenix, and I don't know what prompted it or what was going on. There was a guy that just started singing random anthems from different countries and trying to teach people these anthems. And I don't know what his first language was, but I couldn't understand a fucking word he said in English. And I could barely understand him in Spanish. He had such a thick accent. And everything he said sounded angry. So, and he started getting really aggressive with people, but then buying them drinks. So it's like, well, he's getting mad, but I'm getting free booze. So then he was basically drunk. And then we hit a storm because Colorado coming over the mountains. So we had huge turbulence. Like 12 people got sick because they were too drunk.
Yeah.
Single worst flight I've ever been on. And I've been on some nasty turbulence ones, but that one was just absolutely horrible. The worst airline experience, so like airport, was I used to travel with all my cameras in a gun case because
that's the safest way. That's the safest way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about doing guitar cases and stuff like that, but I had so many other guitar cases. I was like, well, if I see the gun case, it looks different, and in my head, that made sense.
Well, and the other thing I heard is if things are in guitar cases, they'll get stolen way easier.
Yeah.
For some reason, gun cases don't. I don't know why, but Enigma said the same thing. He's like, I'd rather put my swords in a gun case than in just sheaths because backstage nobody will steal those for some weird reason. I have no idea. He said he's gotten like 10 swords stolen from him.
I was at a show once where he got robbed.
Yeah.
And actually, the last time I interviewed him, that next day, my cameras got stolen at the venue in the parking garage while everybody was loading out.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that interview of him never got released because it was on those cameras.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
and some douche nozzles sitting there watching those probably right now, not understanding how important those were. But anyways.
Oh no, absolutely. Yeah, it was like $30,000 worth of.
Yeah, but with a sword, I get it because like if you just have it in its sheath, like it's not as big. But if you have it in a big gun case, that makes it a lot bigger.
You can't walk out with it. That's the difference.
It's hard to walk out with it.
Well, that was my thing. Is I used the gun case thing was so I could keep track of my shit.
Totally,
and I had 4 cameras in there. I had 2 video cameras and 2 still cameras. Yeah. And I was walking through. I walked into DIA, and I'd flown out of there twice, never had any issue. But I switched airlines. I think I was flying Southwest, so I was in a different part of the terminal. Came in. I was that dumbass who parked in the exact same spot I usually park in, and then realized, well, now you have to walk to the other end of DIA.
It's fucking huge. It's fucking huge.
Yeah,
it's stupidly huge.
Yeah, so I wasn't thinking because it was like 5:30 in the morning, and I'm walking in, and I walked all the way through the airport before I realized there was like 5 guys with suits right behind me.
Yeah.
Because they thought I was walking into the airport with a gun. And I spent the next 6 hours explaining who I was, why I was there, begging them to open the case. Like, just look in there. And then they had to take all my cameras apart. They had to look through all sorts of things. It was
fucking, of course.
Yeah, and I
had
missed
to
my
take
flight.
them apart. Like what? Okay.
Yeah, because they're looking inside because they think that you're maybe hiding something or that maybe they're parts of a gun that you can put together because like that's how a lot of guns are here. They are multi-piecel. I know I said that wrong, but you can break them apart into multi-pieces. I guess the best way, like just like a Glock. It has like 4 or 5 pieces. Certain guns you can break them down, and then they have the butt stock and the blah blah blah, and then the fucking extra clip, and then the sights, a flashlight, blah blah blah. Anyways,
yeah, it was.
Hey Al,
that was the worst experience because I missed a flight. I got detained. I got kicked out of the little blue check verified system. They no longer allowed me to do that. And I haven't done that since, but it's still an issue. Like I almost always carry my cameras with me on the plane now, and at least my computers, if not both. And I always have to have them inspected and gone through. So I have to allow for an extra 45 minutes to an hour at every airport, no matter what.
Yeah, totally. And because I'm a freak, I go 2 to 3 hours before. And if I have to sit at the bar or I have to go and like sit and get a $20 burger before my flight, fuck it. Because at least I know I'm going to get on my plane in time. Because I never know, even though I think they're not going to fuck with me. I know what I look like.
See, I sometimes forget that I look like I'm on drugs all the time. So
yeah. Well, I mean, that does happen to me every once in a blue moon as well. I get into a situation and I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, I'm the tattooed face guy. Oh yeah. Now I know why people are reacting to me in a certain way. All right, so let's get on to the next thing in the bobber. What was the first project that you got into doing, either music or extreme performances, or what was like the first thing that got you into entertainment, or how did you get onto the stage for the first time? Because that's the thing that everybody asks me is,
I started real early. I was like 12 years old, really into punk music. My mom got me into it because she was kind of in that scene in California. And so I was 12 years old playing with a bunch of 19, 20, 25-year-old. And, you know, I grew up near Aspen and Vail, so I was playing shows with them. And that turned into touring, and that turned into when my friends were like, oh, I'm going to go do this job. I was like, cool, I've got like 6 shows to do, and I'm going to go work this weird job and go surfing and go snowboarding and go skating. And I just started doing that really young. And then when I got off of, like, when I started changing up and getting into metal, the transition was during the Ozfest days, late 90s, and, you know, grunge movement, metal movement, the sideshow stuff was just hand in hand. Like you'd be, especially like Vans was the big one, going on Warped Tour. You'd be sitting there watching a band and turn around and there was a guy swallowing swords, or a guy spinning poi, or some guy on a skateboard that was just running himself across glass or something. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to try that.
I miss the 1990s. That's what was so amazing about the 1990s in the West Coast. I don't know about the other coasts. I don't know about other places, but growing up around there was fucking amazing because that's what we saw. Totally. And which is weird for a lot of people to say or hear, because not a lot of the rest of the world got to experience this stuff, like Lollapalooza-esque type stuff like we got to. But anyways, keep cracking on.
Well, just to go on that, I mean, people don't realize now what Coachella and Burning Man used to be. Those have become these almost elite,
now they're corporate,
trendy things. And
they're
back
corporate.
then it was
they're
like,
they're corporate pinky up millionaires that are going to those things. When they were ghetto as crap, or they were fucking like underground as shite when they first began, like going to some of the large events like EDC, Electric Daisy Carnival, and stuff like that.
Was amazing.
The beginning of the days of those were fucking amazing. Now it's a corporate fucking thingy. Like they were charging like $500 for a bottle of water or something like that in Las Vegas for EDC last year, or some weird stupid shit. Like it's so dumb what it is now. But anyways, crack on.
Well, look up, if you get a chance, look up the When We Were Young Fest. And look up the Scott Stapp or the Creed clause that's in that, because Stapp actually owns the grounds that's on. And so even though people are like, oh, it's bringing us back, no, it's still corporate bullshit. And I don't, the whole reason I started a record label was because I don't like corporate bullshit. That was the reason I got into it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't like that attitude. And that was kind of what drove me to start doing more sideshow stuff. I mean, meeting people like Enigma before. I mean, he'd been on a couple of things, but nothing big, you know, and getting to have him say a couple things like, well, if you can take, you know, Falling Down and Road Rash, then you can take Playing with Fire. And I went, I love fire. I like playing with fire. And I started learning how to light myself on fire, which led to blowing fire, which led to all the other miscellaneous things that I continued to do. And then it became, for me, it was natural to have, if you're playing an extreme metal show, and you're a two-piece metal band. It was me and my best friend, and we're up there, and sometimes people are like, wow, this is really heavy and this is really cool, and then all of a sudden I'm on fire or hanging myself from the rafters by hooks or my throat or that kind of stuff. It creates more of a show, and I can't necessarily say that it was completely intentional, because you know how it is, that high you get from performing.
No, and it was like things like Gigi Allen, and I hate saying Marilyn Manson, but think those people like that. And then also when I was looking at the Jim Rose Circus Sideshow, I was like, why is performance art not like this? Like, I hate going to a show to pay money to watch a bunch of dudes just stand there just playing their instruments and not moving. I'm like, I'm going to throw a beer bottle at your fucking head because I want you to move. No, and that was the beginning of like, I know in like the 70s and 80s, there was like kind of performance stuff, but the 1990s is where we threw extreme performance onto the stages, and we had all this shock, like entertainment. I was going to say shock rock, but that's not the right words for that. But then we started seeing Jim Rose Circus Sideshow. We began seeing, I know Gigi Allen was the 80s. I know
but
that.
Still,
he was one of the few.
Pioneer.
Even though he was one of the, and there was a couple punk bands in the UKs that were doing thingies kind of like that. But it's the 1990s that it got put into the main spotlight of us doing extreme performances. And that's when you and I began doing. So anyways, crack on with talking about more about.
Well, that was, I mean, that really kind of sums it up. What you just said is that I mean, you have your Alice Coopers, you have your Ozzies, you have the Stooges, you have certain people that do certain things and they have that shtick. I was never into the idea of like glam rock, or even though many of the musicians that I knew and respected were heavy into drugs and stuff, that wasn't what the music was about. The lifestyle was about this extreme side of it instead of the drug side of it. And I always thought, well, if you can be musically and artistically about things that aren't what you're addicted to, why can't you just do those things all the time? And so for me, for one, I don't, the psychotic thing is it's a joke, quote unquote. People started yelling it during shows when I was in a band called Seven Seal in the late 90s. They'd yell it to the stage, and that's back when I was like, I mean, I had green dreadlocks down past my waist. I had fish weights on it, and I'd spin my head around and I go nuts, and I was just screaming at people, and I'm constantly bleeding. There was, when I got my tribal piece on my back, I played a show the next night and was just pouring blood down my back. That wasn't intentional. It's not like I planned that.
Yeah.
But did I play it up? Absolutely, I did, because I realized, oh shit, this is something they're into. So when I was spitting blood on stage, when I'm sick or I'm been screaming for 30 days straight, and I'm spitting blood, they think it's part of the show. I'm actually spitting blood, but you have to learn how to incorporate those things.
Yeah, totally. No, exactly. Something. It's like when I got tattooed for 8 hours straight with UV ink, and I went to go do my show, and like plasma and blood is just leaking out of me the whole night, and I just made it part of the fucking show.
That's what you have to. No, it's like, I remember I did a show with Guar, and I got some of the glow in the dark shit in my eyes, and so my eyes were just pouring. So there was this weird glowy shit. So I just kept running over in front of the black lights to make it freak people out.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know what else to do. I was in agony.
Yeah. And the show must go on, unfortunately, is part of the whole thing. Like, no matter what, I've almost killed myself 4 or 5 times on stage, or did horrible damage to myself. But I'm like, oh, I got 3 more acts to do. Never mind. I can't run off stage yet until I get it done, And so
No, well, you know how it is, and that's just it. Is the number of times that we get hurt, even simple things, and it's always the dumbest little thing that we know better.
Yeah,
we got complacent, or we got, and that's just it. Like I don't do swords anymore. I don't swallow anymore. I'll still stab. I'll still do all the needles and wires and hooks and chains and all that. I'll do that, but I don't swallow swords anymore, because the last time I did it, I couldn't talk for 9 days, and I wasn't sure I was going to recover.
No, I accidentally did something wrong. I stayed up. It was my boss's birthday. I drank a whole bottle of vodka, did a show. and then didn't sleep the next went through a whole day still drinking, went and did a show at a gay club, swallowed my sword the wrong way, and I was coughing up blood for 8 hours. And like my boss was like, no, you're sleeping next to me to make sure you don't die. And right before he went to sleep, I said, I hope I wake up next to you. But every hour I had to wake up and I had to throw up blood to get it out of my throat until it finally coagulated. Yeah, no, I've almost killed myself multiple times. But because I'm a sword swallower, I was like, God damn it, I know what I did wrong, and now I know what not to do. And then same with when I almost killed myself when I jumped on the bed of broken glass and it was wet.
Oh God. Big no.
I thought we had dried it out enough because the night before we made it by rolling it right. And anyways, and and then a handful of other things I've done. Go ahead.
It being wet or dry, what does the wet do that makes it more dangerous?
Okay, I'm not gonna. I mean, nobody's gonna actually do this. Please do not try this at home. But anyways, the difference is when it's dry completely, and especially at a certain temperature, when you stand on it, it will move away from under you. And there's supposed to be certain layers of things. So you have a certain rug with the certain layers of blah blah blah. Again, it's just like coal walking. It's just like ashes walking or fire walking. There's layers of certain things that need to be there so that when you go through the process, it does not hurt you. Well, it less likely hurts you. Listen, not because I'm never going to say that.
So if it's wet, it sticks more together, so it will
it didn't move. There's a piece of glass. There's a piece of glass that went 3 inches in the bottom of my foot because it didn't move out of the way because. Anyways, so what was
you fuckers make me feel so fucking vanilla.
You should take that as a compliment, because honestly, the fact that we have to do the things we do to get a rise out of ourselves to get that rush, the problem is over time you really start looking at like the stuff that people like. I love roller coasters, but I'm to the point now where I'm like, I don't want strapped in.
Yeah,
I look at most of the things I do now. Like, if it's gonna hurt me, I'm not interested. I don't want to be maimed. I'm already all crippled up. I've broken so many bones in my body and done so much damage to myself. What I'd really like to do is just die. Like, I don't want to get hurt worse. I want to be crushed or dismembered or thrown to a chipper shredder. And I know that sounds morbid.
No, but that's what happens. Yeah, that's what happens when you've gone this far. And since I got off of meth 20 years ago, 19, it doesn't matter. That was what we replaced it with. It was extreme performance art. And so then I began going, oh, how can I? And I don't know if you knew this, Psikotyk, but how I began doing my extreme performances is I was taking a beer bottle. I was booking headliners from all around, bringing them to Fort Collins, which they never would have gotten to, because in Fort Collins is a small, stupid, college town, anyways. And then during one of their last songs or the single that they had, I would jump up, run from the back of the crowd, jump up on stage. I would grab a beer bottle that I had hidden behind the wedge. I'd break it over my head, eat the glass, and slash my chest open live on stage.
I've heard about it. I've never seen it. I've heard about you. I mean, I knew who you were before I ever met you, because I grew up on the Western Slope doing the same things in Grand Junction and Glenwood you were doing in Fort Collins and Loveland.
Yeah.
So,
I knew who you were to some extent. I didn't know all of your past, but definitely. And then when I almost cut off my nipple one night, I was like, wait, how can I do this safer? And that's when I got into sideshow and learning how to walk on glass, doing all the living sideshow stuff, because that was extreme. Like, luckily I still have that goddamn. No, exactly. So luckily I still have that goddamn nipple, and I didn't cut it enough to where I couldn't get it pierced so I could do the lifting act that you know that I do, and so does everybody, I think, believe here in the side of my chats. But anyways, what was the most extreme act that okay, I want to talk about the eyeball thing that you used to do, right? You used to do like take tequila and what's the eyeball thing? Because I keep
people are so okay. I don't know if you can really see. I have monstrous eyes. I mean, they're
yeah. Unfortunately, we can't see them exactly here, like what you would see. But anyways, he's got huge eyes. Let's put it that way.
I look a bit froggish, and people would point shit like that out, especially when I first started going out to clubs and bars and things. And lots of times, I wasn't old enough to be there. So if somebody started paying attention to me, I'd start getting really self-conscious and be like, I'm gonna get kicked out. Unless I can either make them look away or become such a part of it that they don't even think about it.
Yeah.
And so I would sit at the bar and I would take like a lime or a lemon and squeeze it in my eye. Like that was the most normal thing for me to do. And it makes people go, oh, Jesus. And they look away or they go, that guy. Or I found out sometimes they buy you drinks and food and you make friends that way. And I started realizing that I could do that with hot sauce. I could do that with vodka and tequila. I don't recommend whiskey. I also don't snort those things.
So you used to, I believe the way you told me this is you said that you used to take a shot glass and put it under your eye, or you take a shot glass full of tequila and you would pour in your eye and hold it under, and then you would squirt the lime while you did salt some way. Sure. Did I hear that properly? Or
no, that was exactly it. It was just like doing a regular, when you do a body shot off somebody, I would do a body shot myself. So I would take the tequila in the glass and I'd put it in my eye and I'd tilt it back, and I'd grab the lime and I'd pull the tequila back down and I'd hold it there and I'd squeeze the lime in my eye, and then I'd lick salt off my arm and then take the shot and then snort the lime.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so you thought I was fucking insane, but gosh damn, I mean,
my God. Dude, you make Slim look like a normal.
I know exactly.
Have you told them what we do when I get to see you perform?
Oh, no, I don't believe that we have talked about that. Normally, well, this has happened the last couple years, right?
Yeah.
We will staple each other, or we'll staple ourselves to each other, or whatever. So yeah, he'll jump up on the stage and be like, where am I going to staple you? And I tell him, and then he's like, okay, where are you going to staple me? And I staple him. Have we stapled each other together yet?
No, we need to do that.
Okay, that's the next thing we're going to do is staple each other together.
You're gonna be the conjoined twins.
Yes, exactly.
Does that include stapling the $100 tip area?
hey, when we're at an exotic porn, or what are the anime porn things called?
Ecchi Expo's one. We can go with that.
No. And I believe that they're down. So we're totally.
I made $500 for causing a divorce at an Ecchi convention a couple years ago.
Do you want to explain how that happened? But give me 1 second. And we have a pragmatic Crystal here. Welcome.
Hey, Crystal.
So, if you want to describe how that happened, right quick, and then we'll have a couple other questions.
Well,
I'm gonna let you say this right quick. I'm gonna step away for just a millisecond. I'm gonna grab another burr, but go ahead and describe this, and I will be right back.
Yeah. So ecchi conventions are the erotic side of anime. So it's almost purely. I don't want to sound like I'm talking shit, but a lot of the people.
There's a lot of vaginas and penises drawn on a lot of things. Let's put it that way.
It's a whole lot more extreme than you would. I mean, I go to the AVNs pretty regularly, and it's very tame compared to Ecchi Expos, which makes it really fun. Because everybody's just kind of open with the idea of, we're here. Here's genitals, and the way they do it is they follow all the laws, but they go right to the edge of the law. And there was a guy selling flogs a couple years ago at the first Denver Ecchi. And I know the guy because he's bought materials off of me and stuff different mask things and things that I've made for him. And he saw me in a smacking competition. I slapped a guy and almost knocked him out cold. And he knows that I spent time doming people and doing things like that. That's how I got into photography, actually, was that side of it. But I happened to be at this event. There's a bunch of us in Psychocosm. We're all just hanging out. He comes running up to me. He goes, "How much would you charge to spank somebody and leave as permanent a mark as you can, make it last as long as possible?" And I'm like, "Fucking $500." I just threw the number. I'd have done it for 20. I just threw the number thinking, "Oh, this is stupid. There's no way they're going to allow this." But he goes running off, and a few minutes later he comes back. He's like, "All right," and he goes, "You got to come over and do this. The guy will hand you cash, and then you can just do it." And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, am I hitting a guy? What am I doing?" And he goes, No. His wife had me testing the flogs I make on her, and she says that they're not good enough to leave a mark, and they're not worth buying. And her husband made the comment, "Well, if you can get something that'll leave a mark for a couple of days, I'll buy one of everything in your booth." And he goes, "Well, I don't know if I want to do that, but I know a guy who will," which is where I came in. He had me come over, and I made them. I wrote it out on a piece of paper, like, I give consent. I had 3 people filming it to make sure that this was completely valid. And I was like, are we going to get kicked out? Like, are we going to get in trouble for this? And I look over, and the head of security is looking at me, and he's just, I was like, okay, that's permission. And I am one of those people that's more likely to ask for forgiveness than permission. But I was like, I'm going to hurt this woman. And I knew I was going to. So she goes and she bends over, and I just kind of looked at everybody, looked around, and without any warning, just no like wind up, no nothing, just smacked her as hard as I could. And I found out a week later that she still had my handprint on her ass, like 7-8 days later. And she couldn't stop talking about it, to the point where her husband actually filed for divorce.
Wow.
And that's how we do it.
But that's how was easy 500, wasn't it?
Well, and the dude did actually, he kept his word. He bought everything from my friend. He bought one of every piece he had. He spent probably $3,000.
I was going to say 2, but okay, 3. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That wasn't easy 500 for you.
Oh, right. My hand was red for like 2 days.
But that's how that goes, because don't fucking call me out being a dom or being trained, motherfucker. Right.
Well, and I take that shit really seriously. Like, the fact that this entire country is, well, kind of the world, but more the U.S. has turned to the 50 Shades of Grey bullshit. Like, we talked about this at Etchy this year.
Yeah.
If that was not a rich dude, that's an episode of Criminal Minds or like CSI. Like, that's. Yeah. If that was in a trailer in Arkansas, somebody's getting hunted by the FBI. Yeah, that is not a sub-dom relationship, and it's a really unhealthy relationship. So when I get a chance to educate and make money, I'm gonna do it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we do on this channel. Is we have Slim's Dungeon, and we talk about consent and safe words, safe warning signs, and blah blah blah, without signing a fucking contract that doesn't make any sense. I've never heard of that when I was in the industry before 50 Shades of Grey, signing a weird ass contract that says blah blah blah. No, that's not how it works.
See, and I heard about it, but that was slavery.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what signing a contract is becoming a slave, and that doesn't make any sense.
I don't agree with that.
No, and that's exactly similarly, like I said, what we go over here, and we've been doing it for the last however many years, and that's why I'm working in the fetish industry, the swinger industry, and all that stuff. That's what we propagate, like the safe ways for consent. And go ahead, hold on, go ahead, brainless. Okay, and here we go. Our channel sponsor just arrived, and because they arrived, here is their commercial or their promo, because they support our community so much and they're so amazing. So here we blow.
That's fantastic.
and not just the community. Like with his work, he does a lot for the U.S.
He helps.
veterans.
Yes, he helps U.S. veterans that need help, and he gets them the help they need, and all. So he's an amazing person. He let me sleep on his couch for 2, and he's very sexy. And he let me sleep on his couch for 2 nights straight when I went out there to go visit all of them in Mama. And yes, Skitsman Crusher was amazing, and it was awesome to go see him. And what was so much fun is the first time he saw me when he got out of his car. He was like, "God damn, you're short." It was so funny because he's like 6 foot.
When I met Brainless, I said, "Damn, I'm short."
Yeah, no, Brainless is a tall motherfucker too. Skitsman Crusher, how tall are you? Well, yeah, you're Dutch. That's why. Because the only way for you to dam the dikes is for you to be a tall. Never mind. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. What was one of the next projects that you worked on, or where was the next place that you went with the entertainment that you were doing after?
Well, I got into film a lot about 15-18 years ago. Again, I'd done some stuff filming because I could snowboard or skate. Believe it or not, I actually used to. Y'all don't know. I walk like a penguin now. Like if you want a disclaimer as to don't do this at home, I'll film myself walking, and you'll go, yeah, I don't ever want to do that because it's bad. But back when I was capable and I could either ride or skate or whatever, I was really good with a camera because I didn't have to look where I was going. I could actually watch the film and see what I was doing, and that turned into doing some documentary style stuff. And I was really involved. At the time, I was really involved with the Colorado Paranormal Investigations Unit, and was trying to film ghosts and do stuff like when Ghost Adventures had come out. I try and hook up with them and just all the different people that were doing things before they were, before they were well known.
Can I say something really quick? Fuck you, Zach. Anyways, keep going.
Fair enough. But yeah, I kind of just went and decided I wanted to get into that more. We made a couple horror movies. I was working on 3 or 4 soundtracks. I was playing in 2 or 3 different bands. We had kind of developed. It's weird because, and it's the same as in Sideshow. It's the same in the tattoo world. Once you get to a certain point, the world gets really small. You start really knowing each other, and you start going places where you recognize. And it feels almost incestuous at times because you're realizing you're hanging out with somebody that used to date the girl that's dating your guitarist, and blah blah. It gets
totally
weird,
no, I know all about that. I didn't. I'd have sex with somebody and be like, "Oh, you fuck, never mind." But anyways,
you realize you cross swords,
yeah.
And so I kind of decided I wanted to get away from that a little bit, which is what led to the film stuff. My intent was to just produce and do a little bit of camera work, and it turned into, of course, I can drive, I can do stunts, and so it turned into being a zombie or jumping off of a roof or flipping a car or things that became even more extreme on that side. And I had friends that were really, really good at that stuff, and we took it very seriously. Unfortunately, there's really no money in film unless you play the corporate game, and
I used to do special effects for films in San Diego. Then I moved to Colorado, and there was nil amount of money in San Diego. At least I could make a tiny bit of money doing special effects. But I moved here, and it's like, nope, there's not that industry. So Sideshow, never mind.
Yeah, well, and there you go. It's just, I mean, like Fallon is one of those. Fallon is a phenomenal actress. I met her on a film set the very first time. I hate she'd kill me if I told you how long ago, but we've known each other for forever. We never shot together. I mean, she didn't know who I was. She knew me by reputation through the photography side of things, but she didn't really know me until the tattoo world. And that was right as I was leaving kind of doing films and other things. And she was starting to do films again. She couldn't come to Colorado for this last convention because she's filming a very big production, which is pretty good reason.
Heck yeah, obviously, definitely, for sure.
But it's the money side of it. It's hard to make money. It's hard to make a living and get those things.
Well, and that's why I left the music industry. Everybody say hello to Pet Dragon really quick.
Hey, Tongue Girl.
Dragon.
Hi.
That's actually what pushed me into extreme performances on stage more. Was there's no Marilyn Mansons, there's no Rob Zombies. Yes, there's still like the certain bands, but like I'm not a hot chick with big boobs. And I was like, I know I can't make money doing this, but I need to be on stage still. I don't want to be in front of a camera per se. I love making an audience react the way that I want them to make a roller coaster ride. They go on that they go from like happiness, shock, sadness, and all these different emotions throughout my thing. And I was like, how the fuck am I going to do that next? And that's where the glass went. And then luckily, some fucking weird, crazy meth head was walking down the street with a bed of nails. And my head promoter was outside smoking and stopped him and brought him inside. And we broke a cinder block over his chest while he laid on a bed of nails. He took a drill bit with a drill and drilled it inside his skull and pulled it out. He ate razor blades, spit them out. He did all this insane stuff that I'd never seen live. And I told him, hey, bro, here's your $100 that I offered you. And I said, if you teach me all of these things, we can go around the world and we can tour. I already have the connections to go tour. Unfortunately, he was a meth head and way too much of one, and he thought of that more, and he ended up beating his girlfriend up a couple times and going to jail for things. And so anyways, but that's how I started my extreme performances on stage per se, because I started as a magician and then music, getting into that. So what was one
thing I've never been able to do any magic. I've tried and I suck at it.
Well, now my nerves don't work anymore like they used to. Like I can't hold my hand still. Maybe it's because the alcohol. But anyways, no. I like the reason I love sideshow so much and extreme performances like hook suspension and piercing and stuff. It is real life things happening in front of you. Like I'm not faking anything. No, we're not faking anything when we do these performances. That's what I love about it. It's real motherfucking life. It's not sleight of hand. It's not pretend. It literally. But the cool thing about it is the people that are watching, their brains are over exaggerating inside their heads because they don't know the physics. They don't know the math. They don't know the experience that we have to hook suspend somebody from the bottom of their knees and have them swinging across an audience. You know, there's logistics that go on with that from experience and then understanding how we do this with pounds per square inch or whatever. Skitsman Crasher, did you pay for a shot? I'm guessing you did because you did that. And I only have blue. God damn it. Fuck you. I only have blue. So anyways, what was next thing that okay. Do you want to show like a short video of something that you did or had, or
I got a couple things here.
Yeah, no, totally do that right quick, and then I'll do a shot of this goddamn blue shite. God, I hate fucking taking a shot of blue.
I don't have lemon or salt here,
especially since we can't even see it because of the screen.
Yeah, make the screen bigger so they can see you take it.
You can see me, right?
I can see you.
Yes, but you've got a blue screen behind you, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's blue because I get
it's hard
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying,
I'll do
but
it
it's not there. Excuse me, pardon me. Yeah. Yeah, hooray for physics and math, exactly, because that's the problem with flat earthers. So cheers, bro, salute, Solange, skull, all the above. Allahayim.
With flat earthers, it's physics and math.
Well,
I did a little bit of research.
No, it's physically abusing their sister on meth. That's what it is.
Oh, something like that.
Well, what it is they don't sleep, right? because they're too busy finding all the Easter eggs on the internet. And they can wind up having the same symptoms of being a meth head, even without the meth, because they don't sleep.
They're like, hey, sister, just wait. I need to watch 5 more videos on how the government controls the weather. Anyways, all right. So whenever you're ready, you should be able to present. So just present.
Some of
Space
of their
lasers.
links.
And
The
thank you very
website,
much,
they got
Brainless.
TikTok,
Psychotic, Brainless shared all that stuff in the side of my chats for you.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it's not.
I was looking at that earlier, so.
If you have a way to share that with us in the private chats, then we can open it, maybe.
I do it there. Yep. Well, the link that he sent actually is a pretty decent one from what I saw. For whatever reason, every time it goes up, it won't play. It says there's an error, and I don't know why.
If it's a link for something that's not on your computer, put it in the private chat.
Well, it was actually on the computer, and it's just not working. But I got links to stuff. Give me a second here, and I can.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah. And then Brainless shared all the stuff in the thingies for you there, brother.
TikToks, Instagrams. Is it messing that up? Yeah, it's messing it up because I put all the platforms.
It was there though.
It's there. Yeah, no, definitely check out all the photography that they do because
some awesome photography.
Like I said, I'm really lucky.
So it makes it all one fucking link.
Yeah, I am just really lucky in that I have incredibly attractive friends who they trust me and they allow me to do the things that I do. I'm one of those rare people that I was basically born an advocate. I've never been able to comprehend the concept of like when people being different because they have different sexual proclivities, or it's never occurred to me that that's wrong or off. And so it makes it really nice for me to be able to. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you hang out with all these hot girls, you must get laid all the time." No, because that's never been my goal.
That's not how it works. No, that's not how it works.
That's not your goal. Yeah, I get it.
And so everybody say hello to Dave. Hello, Captive Desk.
Dave.
No, but that's the whole thing about like what these idiots don't understand is when we work with all these awesome performers that are sexy, male or female, it's not to have sex with them. It is to have a performance and to do these things. And like, yes, we get to hang out with sexy people, but that's
I just know that I'm going to be friends with some of these people for the rest of my life.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not going to ruin the relationship because I got a hard on. That's dumb as crap. And
and don't get me wrong.
Well, once you involve physical intimacy, then you add a dynamic to a relationship that makes it so personal that people get too close and friendships can be ruined.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. And there are people that I have had physical relationships with that I do work with. And for the most part, that's gone really well. But the twice in my life, I've been truly like, it sucks to say, Hotel Transylvania explains love in a way that nobody else seems to get. Where the zing, where you just have suddenly this ability to you match somebody and you don't know, like there's no other thought except that involving them. I've actually been lucky to have that happen twice. Most people aren't lucky enough to have that even happen once. Most people think they were in love and they don't realize they weren't. I've had it happen twice, and both of them destroyed me when they ended.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely destroyed me to a point where I almost didn't recover. And I look at that as those people now. I'm friends with all of my exes save one, and I'm grateful for that because now we've moved past it to a point where I do know that those people will be in my life. I mean, that to me matters more. Knowing that I sometimes know somebody better than their husband or their girlfriend, or the fact that they trust me, that if somebody, I had a friend tell me once that she knew, and all the people that worked at the strip club and the bars and all the different places that I worked, they knew that if they showed up at my house at 3 a.m. covered in blood, I wasn't going to freak out. I was going to ask 2 questions. The first being, are you okay? And the second being, are we hiding a body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best compliment I've ever gotten.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's what's so.
I quickly downloaded that video. That
perfect.
Okay, I had it on the thingies of the Mabobbers, but go ahead and in a second share that. That's what's one of the weirdest and craziest things for me when I did all these like fetish scenes or like all these people were like, no, Slim, I trust you enough to like bound me up and put things in my mouth and blah blah blah. And I'm like, thank God, that's awesome. Like, it's insane that people will trust me. But when you're a public figure in certain aspects, it makes it a little bit easier. But it's still trippy when you're in like the middle of doing something. You're like, this could be a murder scene really fast. But you know, I'm obviously
no, but it's also your personality.
Yeah,
it's also it's yeah. No,
There's
like,
certain people you just know that you can trust. You can look at them and go, okay, you're putting your life in my hands. The way that people do with doctors and things. It's crazy, but it's.
But if I tell anybody about Slim, I say like at first you think like, ooh, what kind of freak is that? But like when you get to know him, like he's one of the sweetest dudes I know.
And that's what like a lot of normals will say. They're like, dude, Slim, the first time I met you, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this fucking weirdo? And then I had one conversation, and realized, oh, you're fucking awesome, or that you're cool and you're chill. And this is what your life is because of what you do. You know what I'm saying? So,
it took you all of 6 minutes to make everybody in the booth when we were sharing that booth up in Loveland. It took all of 6 minutes for me to go, oh, he's one of us.
Yeah.
All the girls are like, fuck yeah, good call. And that's just, I mean, and then you just met Christina and everybody else and they all said the same thing. Like, dude, we get why you hang out with certain people. That's the most fun for me is getting to watch my worlds kind of collide and watch everybody realize we're all pretty kindred.
Yeah, totally. Yes, exactly. And that was so much fun to hang out that weekend. I wish I would have spent more time on Friday with y'all, but I didn't know what was going on. I should have hung out for Friday.
Yeah,
but anyway, next time I'll be there all 3 days or whatever.
Well, we've got several conventions like that this year coming up. We got 3 or 4, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the Ren fairs and stuff and things, and we'll get to that when we get to those. But next year is going to be amazing, especially if I can bring my snake charmer friend with me because, she's an amazing belly dancer and stuff and things, and she wants to go on tour. And anyways, we'll talk about that later. Yep. So let's Brain, let's go ahead and share that quick because I have something. Hold on. Of course I would pet dragon.
Would you help me hide a body? I know exactly what she's talking about.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's some fucking blowing right there. Was that a try?
Yeah, I did a triple there.
Yeah.
I also
pause it. Did you not wipe your mouth between those?
No, I don't.
What the? Okay, sure, that's up to you.
I know. Well, there's a thing. I actually sustain because I can actually keep the flame on my mouth and sometimes reignite my wand. It's a trick I learned. It's why I don't have a mustache. It's actually why because when we first met, I had a mustache. And since I learned how to do this stuff, I don't have one anymore because I keep the flame actually on my mouth. And it also lets me control it and pull it in.
Okay, I get what you're saying now. Okay, that makes sense. All right, okay, all right.
I know the safety issue. Trust me.
I knew that you did. It just was like, because I was taught blow, wipe, blow, wipe. But I have this silly ass little goatee that I've always had, and that's another reason why I was told to wipe.
Yeah.
Slip,
Well, and I
isn't
used
it
to have
blow,
the full goatee.
swallow, blow, swallow?
Well, that's not with fire. That's when we do porn. That's completely different. Anyways, all right.
Yes, that's the level over here.
Yeah, you see why that's my co-host? All right,
Yes,
anyways.
this makes sense.
So let's go ahead and
me like
what's the other thing that's added? Well, I'm gonna play it anyways. So let's play this next. There we go. Here we blow.
Oh, that's when I shot a drone. I just noticed a drone was following us around. So I decided I'd try and shoot it. And it doesn't show on this one, but I did get it down.
Those are some big ass.
I did actually manage to shoot that thing down. It was fun.
Yeah, Jesus.
I can aspirate about 25 feet if it's not on fire. If it's on fire, I can get 15 to 20.
Okay. And
it's something.
Are
you
you
ever watch
using
Pro Wrestling? Triple H used to do the thing where he'd throw the water and spit it up.
Yeah.
That's where people were like, you could do that, and that's where I learned how to do it, and then I just learned how to start controlling it.
Okay, I get you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just got one thing.
Go ahead.
Let me look up a file. Because there's one thing. I was just doing some of the research, and I came across your Instagram or your Facebook. It was quite enjoyable with all the got a lot of the
ladies
on there, but one was quite offensive to me.
Uh-oh.
Because a Toyota Corolla is a fucking awesome car.
Oh, that's so great. God damn it, brainless.
My ex and me, we used to have a Toyota Corolla, and that's you started and it's going. Like, for fuck's sake, it's a Toyota.
The thing about Toyotas is that you have to kill them.
What? Sorry?
What'd you say, Commander?
Oh, I have a Camry.
What year?
2023.
Okay.
That doesn't even count. It's new. It's new enough that it hasn't even been worn in. Once they hit like 300,000 miles, that's when you get to know your car.
Yeah. The first car I had growing up in San Diego was a Honda Civic in 1995. Yes. Or 1992 or something. Anyways, it seemed almost years. But yeah, dude. That was fun. Trying to drive that thing over.
Yeah, I've had a couple of Hondas that I drove the crap out of. Right now, I've got two cars and a motorcycle, and none of them runs. That's just how shit goes.
That's not good.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That's not good.
Yeah, my car van is broken down. My race car is broken down, and my motorcycle's in like 12 pieces.
Damn it!
What you do with them?
What year, and what style and things of the bobbers is the motorcycle?
So it's a mix. I'm actually making a cafe racer, and I took a 1982 Datsun engine and put it on a frame so that I could basically. It's the fastest fucking thing I own.
Okay.
It's a 4-barrel engine on a motorcycle, and I built it Akira style, so you lean way over, and I'm probably gonna have to put racks on it just so I don't flip over.
Okay.
Yeah, when I get down to Virginia, I have to buy an SUV.
Yeah, because there's a lot of weather down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have had SUVs since I moved to the Colorados, and because we do shows and I have all this crap I have to pack into the goddamn things to do shows, because I'm not traveling that much. And even if I go to other states, still sometimes anyways, I've been driving SUVs for a hot minute.
You know what I drive? A bicycle.
Yes, I know you do.
I don't even own a car.
Yeah, well, to
it's
go
so
to the
nice
pig.
conveniently close by over here.
Yeah, you just gotta go up the street to the pig farm that you fucking work on. So I mean, of course, it's easy for you. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Okay, so
but here the cities are made to live in, not to drive in.
Oh my God, 5-minute cities. No, let's rebel against those because we're dumbass.
That's
Never mind.
fucking what Amsterdam is.
Oh,
they
dude,
had
all of the goddams or the dams are very close.
If I get on my bicycle, I'm at the supermarket in like 3 minutes.
But what do we call a group of dykes together? I don't know. I was asking. Never mind.
Weirdo. But that's why we love you, dumbass.
Yes.
Pride Week.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. God damn it, dog! You fucking pwned that one on me for sure. So, before we get the fuck out of here, is there anything else you want to share with us, as stories or experiences that you had with the things and the stuffs? I heard that you used to hang out with Jackass, maybe, or something.
I hang out with Jackass folks. Wee Man and Fallon's best friend is Bam. So there's been a lot of the Jackass crew and things over the years. A lot of touring crews, like touring with Guark, touring with Mushroomhead, touring with a lot of the Juggalo people. You meet a lot of people who are really into extremes and things like that. And
the goddamn fucking Juggalos. Anyways, keep it.
Yeah. But no, you start seeing it, and then the Jackass crew, because of snowboarding, because of where I grew up near Aspen and stuff like that. I know several Olympic snowboarders and things like that, not because I knew they were Olympic snowboarders, but because they would come into the restaurant. Yeah, I was there. You just meet these people, and it's a lot like that. It's the same as, I mean, you know how it is. You go to a convention or you go to a concert or you go, like, my favorite is, I love going to Vegas because I always run into somebody that I know that I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Do you hang out on the main strip or do you go to the old strip?
I do. I'm a three-parter. I do hang out in the strip itself because I play cards, I play poker, and you're gonna make money because that's where all the fish come in from that are playing their home games and shit. So you can kind of win a little cash. And then I love going to Old Town, especially with my friends that live there, because in fact, one of the photo sets that I did, in fact, I can pull this up. I will fucking just put this in the
Dude, my favorite thing about the old strip is fucking the Evil Knievel bar.
Right?
That's one of my favorite places to go. Is this still open? I haven't been there in like 8 years.
I don't think so, but man, that place
it's
was
actually
cool.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's closed. I think it's actually closed. That was my favorite place to go and drink at, in between shows, because he's a weirdo because he's an extreme stunt artist, and then Sword Swallowers and all these other, and I would bring in all the girls into it, and dude, oh my Jeebus Christ, they would just give us everything for free. It was amazing.
Going to the karaoke bar that's upstairs right there, something cat, whatever. Same deal. You go in there with a bunch of musicians and just kind of go nuts. Man, you get so much free shit.
Oh, dude, we went to a couple of nightclubs on the old strip, and they literally were giving us money to stay and hang out, and they were buying our drinks, and we got in for free. And dude, it was amazing to be around. I mean, I was probably the ugliest person in that whole troupe, and so it was funny to just like have all these amazingly beautiful people around me. It was great. It was hilarious. Yeah, put it in the private chat or
I'm trying. It's just I keep having an error. I don't know why it's doing this.
Well, it's freaking StreamYard. I'm sorry.
It is what it
StreamYard
is.
does that
Well, I was
sometimes.
gonna show some stuff there because I actually did a friend of mine who just recently passed. He knew the maintenance people there at the mall on the back side, where the old arcade and all that shit
Yeah.
is there.
Yeah.
All those old as fuck staircases and just random pieces of metal, and you get up behind the cowboy doing the waving thing and all that. We got up behind all that and got to shoot up there, and it was one of the coolest experiences of my life being there. Like, I love that shit. And then getting to go down to, go and have a hot dog and and turn around and see them and they're like, hey, you guys were just up there shooting, we got your meal. And it's fun as hell. But I also really like the new art district in Las Vegas because it's mostly chefs and bartenders that used to run the shit on the strip who got tired of the corporate crap.
That's what I heard about.
It's so fucking cool. Like, just you can go into the different microbreweries and restaurants, and it's this really just inclusive art scene where there's no sense of anything but inclusion. And
awesome.
I need that. It's so cool. I've never had a bad time there. Going to the weird pawn shops and just the weird costuming places and the different galleries and grabbing a bite to eat here and a beer here and a drink over here. And you don't spend near as much money as you would downtown in the touristy bullshit. And you can hang out all night and never say the same thing twice. It's phenomenal. I love that. That's what I love about New Orleans too. Same thing. It's like, I don't like bourbon. I don't like that area. But you get out in the old French Quarter or you get in some of the other burbs there, like, I love some of the weird old side streets in New Orleans for the same reason, because it's just way more fun.
Yeah, totally.
Detroit's that way. Chicago's that way.
Well, I love going to these small itty bitty towns to go tour. And as soon as we get into town and we check into our hotel, I find the smallest dive bar in town. We all go there and we sit down and we ask the locals, where the fuck do you eat dinner? I don't want to go to Chili's. I don't want to go to fucking the corporate shit. Where does mama of the town make her best jambalaya or whatever? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to experience. That's the part of touring that's fun. Yeah. Is
People
actually
miss that. Like touring itself sucks. It sucks. It's horrible. You're working god awful hours. You're on the road all the damn time. You're stuck in a smelly ass car with the same fucking people that are basically your family that you're married to, that you happen to be related to, that are also your workmates. It's not fun. But when you get to go to a museum that some local recommended, or a little Mexican place that's inside this lady's house, just right near LAX, that it's not on Yelp. It's not on, but best foods you've had. Those are the moments you remember forever.
Exactly. And the roadside attractions, like the Bigfoot Museum, that's off kind of the beaten path a little bit, that nobody knows about, or this weird other thing. And like I said, and you just said, these amazing fucking mom and pop shops where they're like traditional whatever food that they made, because they are the first generation, maybe second, from that actually gives you these real quality things. And you know what? Some of the most amazing food that I've ever eaten was roadkill stew. I mean, even if it's weird, crazy shite, like squirrel pie, fuck it, it's fucking awesome, even though it's weird as shite. Hey, Beck, how are you doing?
What? I'll go back.
Have you ever, as part of your sideshow
Great
stuff,
to see you around.
Have you ever done the food stuff where you end up just eating, like people just bring you random food to say, like remember Joe Rogan used to have, what was that? The fucking, what was that show before he was ever a podcaster? I can't remember.
Fear
Factor, where they would eat random shit. People would show up and bring me that stuff.
I have a bag of bugs that I eat here
there
on stream all the time.
Yeah.
I have scorpions. I have chili peppers. Totally. And I'll totally do that when I go to places and they like, or say, my favorite thing is when people try to pretend to trick me into eating weird foods like Rocky Mountain oysters or something, you know?
Stuff that we've already eaten a billion times.
Or I don't give a fuck, dude. I'll eat a human if it's legal. I don't give a fuck what the hell I'm eating as long as it's done properly. As long as it's up to the right temperature and it's made the right way and it's not overcooked, then I'm fucking down to eat anything. I don't give a flying fuck, dude. Look at me. My face is tattooed. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah, I think I'd try almost anything. Like if like.
No, we know you try almost anything sexually.
No,
you're talking about food.
Shut up,
Sorry, I'm
dumbass.
sorry.
But like if it's like if it's stuff that's allowed to be sold, it's edible. You won't get sick from it. You know, like, so why wouldn't you try it?
So speaking of that devil for just a millisecond more before we start wrapping this up, tomorrow on a Drunken News Report, we go over people taking animal electrolytes and thinking that they are taking human food safe electrolytes and the medical problems that are happening after. It's kind of like taking ivermectin and the blah 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 and these people are taking like donkey, horse, and other mammal electrolytes in huge buckets and putting them into water and drinking them, which once again is not FDA food. Humans, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. So Psikotyk, is there anything else you would like to say? I love saying it the British way, so I'm sorry, but saying Psikotyk is way better.
No, I really appreciate the chance here. Hopefully, I think a lot of the other people I know that some of the artists and some of the girls would probably love to do this too. So we'll definitely try and throw them your way, because keep doing what you're doing. Thank you all for having me. Really, I really do appreciate it.
Oh, pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. And yes, anybody
We'd love to have
on
you
your
around
team,
more often.
Yeah, and anybody on our team, even the boys that are the tattoo artists, and anybody on our team, anybody who wants to jump on, just let us know. We're probably not gonna do very many more till after October, but in November and December we're totally every
which
Tuesday,
that opens we're open a lot more too.
Exactly.
We're finally coming to the end of show season, so
I know. We all know that exactly. So that's when we'll totally have that. And I don't mind doing multiple people on one day as well.
Okay.
So I mean, I wanted you to be by yourself because I wanted to give you that respect. Yeah. Exactly. But definitely we're gonna have multiple people on, and yes, no, I'm totally buttering you up. Anyways, so thank you very much for being here. Thank you for all of the people inside of my chest, and thank you for my co-host and my guest. We're going to get the fuck out of here. So everybody say fuck you, because we get the fuck out of here. All right, bye.